Cheers, man.
All right.
I'll make sure that.
All right, we're rolling. Rolling.
All right, what? Are we rolling?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're good.
I was in a forest when I first met you. A forest of my mind.
Hey everybody, you're all good? Rolling?
Yeah.
All right?
Yes,
Rolling, get them puppies rolling raw. Hi.
Thanks all for coming. So I just want to go down the line real quick and just go over everybody's names just to make sure that I have everything, and I want you to also like say your grade too. Just want to make sure that I get everything right. Yeah.
I'm Jackson. I'm a junior.
Jackson
Yeah.
Bauer.
Correct. Yeah, Bauer, B-O-W-E-R.
I'm Ryder Jackson, and I am a senior.
Ryder Jackson Senior.
Keys I wish.
I'm Winston Filgate, and I would be alumni. Graduated last year.
Nice.
Goes to the Great Bay Community College.
The attendant at
Yes.
Great Bay.
Yeah.
I'll put the greatest Bay.
The greatest day.
Yeah, and that better be in the article.
My name is Elliot Spur, and I'm a senior.
Elliot Spur. Very nice. All right. So, how long have you guys been together as a group making music under the name Apollo?
All of us.
Yeah,
All of us is
January.
January.
Yeah.
Okay.
January.
We had
14th to be.
Me and Elliot wrote about three acoustic, sort of a rhythmic acoustic pair songs. We decided to take them to Jackson. From there, they sort of snowballed into something that was much bigger than what it had been before.
Yeah, I like to think of it as so Ryder got a 12-string guitar, and when Elliot and him came to me, we were just kind of messing around, and I was playing bass actually, and then after a while we were like, we could do so much more with this than just a trio. I should play guitar, and we should find another bass player. And I was like, I know, like I did a rock lab at the high school.
Us three.
Yeah, we did rock lab
2 years ago now.
a high school program,
Yeah.
and we got to know each other through there. So I, messaged Winston, and he was down. So that's how it all really started. We all learned the 3 songs. We did an open mic at Flight.
I think
No, it was Freedom Cafe in Durham. That was the first one.
That was the first one.
Yeah, as all of us. It
All of us
awful.
was
Yeah.
the Freedom
Yeah,
Cafe.
I remember my guitar broke down on stage.
Yeah. It was a mess.
We're playing there again on Halloween.
All
We
right.
actually are.
Yeah.
Halloween night, like the
Yeah,
31st.
31st,
Wednesday.
7:15 to 8 o'clock.
I'll keep that in mind.
I think what's cool about that, if you think about how we started off as more of almost like an acoustic trio, is if you listen to our music now. If you listen to our music now, it's sort of evolved a lot, and you can hear a lot of difference. Well, there's still like the sound and the vibe is somewhat similar, and you can sort of see that progression, but it's a whole different beast now.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess to transition to that now, what do you think some of your biggest influences are on the sound that you have right now?
I'd
Pearl
say
Jam and the Allman Brothers had a baby.
Okay, I like it.
I mean, it seems like a lot of our songs start off with the idea of it's gonna sound like a Fish song or it's gonna sound
Yeah.
like a Grateful Dead song.
Yeah.
Or
But then-
also
We're definitely
Pink
very
Floyd.
jam. I'd say Pink Floyd is a huge
Yeah,
influence on
Pink
our
Floyd,
newest song,
Yeah.
newest sound.
But like,
and song.
when we start off a song, we kind of have the idea, it's gonna sound like this Grateful Dead song, or it's gonna sound like a jam band sound. But then when we actually start playing it, it kind of snowballs into something different, maybe a different sound, like a
Not
like more of a Pearl
yeah,
Jam
I was
or
gonna
something
say.
like that.
And we've always been very flexible with our sound too. We have a sound, but the way we work in between it, you can hear a lot of different sort of styles. I remember one of our newer songs has sort of been described as almost Led Zeppelin-ish, and the other one was almost
like
Mac
mid-quarter.
DeMarco.
Yeah. And
Okay.
we got
influenced,
we have
yeah.
a song, Your Love, kind of sounds like reggae, white boy reggae. And there's
Right.
So
and-
Mac
and-
DeMarco.
Right.
And there's another song that we have, like Summertime Shine,
Yeah.
which is total like great kind of sounds.
Yeah,
Grateful
like a
Dead,
Grateful
Yeah.
Dead.
So it's a
definitely.
huge array. Like we'll play it.
None of the songs seem out of place with each other, but they all have their own touch.
It makes
Yeah,
a good set.
Okay, yeah, no, I get that, where it's like all of the mixes of like these great sounds, and it's just, I guess you could say, your take on them.
They fit. Everything fits in a sound, but it doesn't all sound the same.
Oh yeah, see, I like that. See,
Yeah.
if only more artists.
It's
nowadays
up for
would-
interpretation, I guess.
Oh, okay, I see you. All right.
We gotta tone down the. Last time we did an interview, it was a mess because we were like, Apollo is an experience.
Yeah, that was you.
No,
That was you're right. You're like, we don't want a concert. We want an experience. The audience really is having an experience.
then the rest of our interview made no sense. After. So we gotta keep it. We gotta stay on Spaceship Earth.
It's a quote George Gershwin or like something like that.
Music is good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I won't make you call anything an experience then.
But to be fair though, I don't think I don't think considering like our concerts as an experience is incorrect.
No,
Yeah,
I agree.
I wouldn't consider. I'm gonna turn this down. I wouldn't consider any concert to not be an experience. I wouldn't consider, you know,
Anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime you go see live music, it's an experience.
It's
Of
true.
course.
Anytime you take a math test, it's an experience. Everything is an experience.
So
Some
do
are
you
better
mean-
than others.
Maybe do you mean experience on like an existential
Yeah.
level, where you understand something about yourself from listening to the music?
I think so.
Maybe
Do
I'm
you
better.
guys think that when you make music, you learn new things about yourself?
Yes.
I think
We're
when I make
always-
music, I learn more new things about the universe.
Oh God, shut up.
We're always going down a river, right? And every time
Stay
we
on
pad-
Spaceship
and
Earth,
every
guys.
time we paddle, we're serving the song and the sound.
There was that. Yeah.
Write that down.
That was like too brilliant for me to like. I was too busy
I
paying
can-
attention, so I'm gonna need that recorded.
I can send you the audio file after
Yeah.
this if you
I'll
need.
just listen through the whole thing again
Yeah.
and blow 30 minutes of my day. That's okay. It's worth it.
Big deal.
Yeah. So just on the topic of like the music that you make, do you think there's like a traditional way that you guys go about making a song, where one of you maybe comes to another, or is it just every experience is different?
Well, we have a group chat, and it starts with someone. It's usually someone playing guitar almost every time, and they
Yeah.
come up with a lick and say, "What do you guys think of this?" And we all
Or
feedback on it.
I've had times where like me and Elliot were just hanging out like
Yeah.
in a coffee shop, and I put some chords on. I put some chords in the guitar, and it sort of snowballed itself into a song. You know.
Okay. So it's usually just like one of you is like, hey, what about this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single one of our
And then
songs, we never kind of come to the band with, this is what the song is. It's more, this is a lick of a song that
What do
I
you
want to
guys think?
I'm
develop.
feeling this, and everybody sprinkles like on some like.
You know, have you ever
Their
seen the
own
Salt
touch.
Bay meme where the guys like
Yeah,
this?
yeah, yeah.
Everybody gets their different spices and they're like this.
It's a really like collective process, and
Yeah.
everything falls into place. And like when we play songs, they're still changing. Like we can't play the same way.
Gotta
Never
be-
know
I
twice.
gotta be really careful when I say this. I have to be very careful, but not in a political sense, but in a social sense.
Oh boy.
We write our songs very democratically.
Oh,
that's not bad.
Okay.
I don't want to be like Apollo is like
I thought-
Apollo's all Democrats. So,
I thought you were about to say
Apollo,
about some,
the
like,
new
spicy
Democratic
taste.
candidate.
Apollo against Trump. Like we don't take any political stance in this. band.
Okay, so no political affiliation. We'll have to mark that down. Maybe that'll be the headline. Apollo, new Dover band with no political affiliation.
Most bands
So
actually do have a.
Fun
yeah.
fact: the Rooftop Fools are fascist.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I would not be surprised. Genuinely would not be
No,
surprised.
I'm goofing. Don't put that.
Oh, I will quote that. You said it. You did not say off the record. It's going on.
Sputnik are communists.
Well,
And we're just like the good old fashioned Americans.
Yeah, we're just all
Yeah,
together.
we're
Yeah.
the definition of just some
Some
American
boys.
teenagers making music, hanging out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
one of
Think
our
alive.
like biggest influences is Pink Floyd, and you listen to their music, and it's very
Sounds
out
like
there,
you're-
and it's very political, but we have not achieved that level of consciousness yet.
Yeah, I
Do you
think
we're
plan
working
on
on it.
achieving that
Yes.
level?
you want to get political.
Not
Not
political, but like
right
you look
now.
at songs
Jackson.
like Time.
I don't wanna
songs-
get political.
Songs like Money.
It makes a
like-
statement.
When
yeah,
you
it's
when
like
you
a
get when you,
statement about
Yeah, but
like
when
the
you,
wall, dude.
yeah, but when you get political in the bands, you lose fans and you gain fans. It's a big shift. Like if we
Right.
take a political stance,
no.
then I don't want to do that. But
I think we
but
should
making
talk-
statements.
I think
is-
we should talk
That's-
like
yeah.
beyond politics, man. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
right.
That's
Stay on
what-
spaceship.
No,
Earth.
no, like,
So,
we're
no,
not.
no. Every time a camera's on, and there's someone asking you a question that's going to be on something, you could go way off of space. Beyond it, universal.
No, I think about the
extraterrestrial.
truth.
You know,
like,
you guys
politics
know
fit.
in like 5 years when people are watching your first interviews, they're gonna be like, "This Ryder kid, dude is baked out of his mind."
Yes, yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
Not
like,
right now.
There's a big difference between like the like passion like people bring. It's more of a societal thing because like politics and society can be different. And
Yeah,
people bring like with the music scene, like around here it was dead for a long time, and now there are a lot of bands coming out of Dover High School. Everybody's putting new passion into it, and it's coming alive, and we're all part of it now.
Yeah.
So it's
It's a really cool feeling. If you feel like you're a part of some sort of like legacy, something beyond you when you sort of revive the scene.
yeah.
I remember my dad was in the music scene here in the '90s, and that was back in the day when there were these bands like Groove Child, Scissor Fight, Thanks to Gravity, all these bands, and it was in the Portsmouth, Dover, Durham kind of scene.
Seacoast area.
Yeah, Seacoast
Yeah,
area, and it was this big. It was kind of a big deal, and there were bands that were sharing contracts with Green Day. Yeah, and then after a while, the music scene kind of died down as everyone got jobs and moved away, and we went through kind of a period
Yeah.
where there was like almost no music in the Seacoast for a long time, and then when we started playing together, we started seeing like, oh, we could play here, we could try and get this show, we could play outside at this event, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The Hot Rod show.
we've
Yeah.
played at hot rod shows like.
I almost passed out the hot rod show.
It was hot.
It was
at the
hot at the
Rod
hot
show.
rod show. It was about 95 degrees.
Yeah.
We were hot. Tempers were hot.
Timbers.
That was a
Tempers
long
were
show.
hot.
I remember I'd like just gotten in a fight with someone,
Yeah.
and then like just played the show, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna kill it, but I
It
really
was,
did
it
really
was a bad show.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I had a good
Well, you think it's like the best show we've played?
At least somebody had a good
Dude,
time.
I always have fun. Like, it's never a bad time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's go.
Good time to have a good
when
time.
it's on, it's on. There's no feeling like just playing correctly. You know what I mean? And like playing smart,
That
playing
does sound
fun.
good.
True.
Playing together.
Yeah.
Who's playing, man? You know.
Playing in the band.
Yeah.
For sure. And I guess to kind of work off that idea of like your music kind of like restarting this this scene, do you continue to not follow or do you plan on not following the path of other people that have come before you and continue into the music scene? Because obviously you guys are all, almost out of high school and in college,
Yeah.
and so maybe like continuing in college, but like what about after that? Have you thought about that?
Riders talk about getting an Apollo tattoo, and those are pretty permanent.
Those are perfect.
I've heard around.
Oh, dude, we've talked about maybe I'm probably gonna get regular jobs, man. Like I don't have any illusions of becoming like a big performing musician, but I do think
You
this is.
never know.
You never know,
Yeah,
man.
you never know.
You never know.
This interview could launch you into stardom.
Yeah, we could be memes after this interview because Riders like, we're extraterrestrial. Our songs are universal.
They call us Apollo because we're extraterrestrial.
They call us Apollo because Ryder is not on Earth.
It's Apollo like the god. It's Apollo like the moon. It's Apollo like the spaceship.
It's Apollo, whatever the fuck you want it to be, man. You know?
Boy, off the record. Heck on the record.
Okay, I'll make sure that's in.
Right.
I think my favorite interpretation is the moon, because I feel like that gives you like
The
Yeah,
dark,
just
dark
solid
side of the moon.
the god is, or like the god Apollo, that's very like domineering
Yeah, it's
and in
very-
charge, but like
Well,
The moon.
The- the
Apollo's
moon.
the god of music.
the moon.
Yeah, that's what.
That is true.
Yeah, I think that was the original idea, and then.
I see that. Yeah.
But the original idea is, they get tossed in and they get sort of jumbled around and become something else,
Yeah. And that's pretty much the concept of your music.
I was
Yeah.
I was listening to some of our music the other day. When we first started.
Check
Yeah,
it out
we-
on iTunes.
No, but we have videos. But we have videos of us playing like our first shows, and we used to play the songs completely different than we used to now. Like,
They
like,
were slower. They were almost like swung.
well, Two Last we used to play that fast. It used to
Yeah.
be da 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 da.
You slow it down, it sounds better.
We slowed it
That is
down.
my opinion.
Yeah, it was more. Now it's more like
Right, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
one of those.
it makes you contemplate.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. And I guess to kind of focus on Ryder for a second.
All right.
So, your voice, just talking about it like,
Yeah.
in general, is very unique. It's not like a lot of other people who are singing. It has,
Mhm.
I don't know, the way that I listen to it, it sounds a lot like Creedence Clearwater Revival.
John Fogerty.
And John Fogerty.
Yeah.
And is there any? Is that just how you sing, or is there something that you like have been building to work on?
Moonlightning.
I get sort of inspiration for how I should sing from like all over the place. I think my voice, for better or for worse, is something that the inspiration's kind of like I take it sort of. All right, let me restart that.
Oh, there, motion sensor.
Um,
No, that's not gonna.
What happened?
No, there's a button.
hit the button.
Oh, there it is.
Not Apollo in the dark.
It's on 2.
The moonlight.
Put it on
Alright.
scene 2.
Yeah, that's probably good.
That was the one.
I think.
That's it, boss.
Wait.
No, scene 2. There. Right on.
No, that was the other one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay, that's
Scene,
it,
good.
scene 3 is a little grainy on the camera.
My voice is, it's something that it comes really like from the gut, you know? And I think even a lot of the newer songs, and that's sort of how I like to sing almost to the point where it hurts, so you can really sort of hear that like in the music, the sort of passion with it, you know?
There are a lot of songs where we finish a song and Ryder's like, oh guys, ow, ow. Yeah, and now I think one of the topics, I'm gonna ask Apollo its own question because
Oh boy.
I'm not trying to step on your toes, but the thing is, I think, you know, like in high school, I want to get your guys' thoughts on what you think the response has been from the high school, you know, like the general feel of, you know, everyone else in the high school, the student body, on having a band. You know, like there's all these different cliques in high school, and you're like,
Yes.
what do you guys think? What do you guys think? You know, like how people feel about Apollo?
Us.
Yeah.
When I
think-
was,
Oh, go ahead.
do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Yeah, you're the
Seniority, right?
oldest.
When I was in high school, which was not that long ago,
Maybe like 3 months ago.
yeah, everyone showed me love. Like, no one was really rude about me being in a band because, I don't know, there's just no point. It was
Yeah.
cool, you know, not a lot of people do that, you know. There's the Rooftop Fools.
Well, see,
So-
the thing that I've noticed is like you guys stand out amongst all the other kids making music.
I think we
It's
almost
decided-
spawned that.
Which you did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
After you guys like came out, everybody's like, oh, maybe I can make music,
out.
but they don't.
Apollo comes out.
Apollo is gay. But after you guys like came out onto the DHS music scene,
Yeah.
I think that a lot of other people decided to do that too, but it wasn't like your music, which
Right.
for lack of a
Yeah.
better phrase takes talent to make. Whereas a lot of these groups don't include this if you like show this clip, but like Julia Croto and like Thomas Gray and Duncan Lee.
Oh yeah.
They're like making like
Yeah.
music, but it's not music. It's
Yeah.
like that SoundCloud rap shit, and like not to different rap. Like I love rap. It's just
Right,
like
right.
it takes talented to make good rap, and they
Yeah.
don't make good.
I'm all for it, man. You know, I think it's important to try to do it,
It is.
and then realize the artistry it comes into doing it right.
Yeah.
Music is music is music is music. You can't like detract from what other people are doing. But if you gotta have like the secret,
Yeah.
sauce.
The secret sauce, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have the sauce.
Every day, every